Hello guys, welcome back to Holistic Living Pursuit. In this episode, we are going to address financial planning. More specifically, we are going to look at how can you plan for your children or dependents' education. With you is Efe Juma and Kolakodek. Before I move forward, please say something.
Yes, hello guys, welcome to this episode. Once again, as my co-host have just mentioned, we want to have an interesting discussion about financial planning, particularly how you can handle school fees and the rest, and just take care of your children's education and help them avoid these problems of poor performance or maybe self-esteem being lowered and all that. So stay tuned and let's see how we can discuss this, how we can elaborate this, and how you can feel ease as a parent when you are paying for your kids' education. We have a couple of things that we can make out of this, and yeah, let's see how it goes.
Well, thank you for that.
Yes.
And I want us to be a bit faster. We have really a lot to cover, and we want to make the video not be that long.
Sure.
So we want to confine it within this we want to make it as short as possible.
True.
Now, we have as ourselves, and most of us, we've gone through the hurdle of paying school fees, or in one way or the other, majority have been affected with
the issue of
school fee payment.
Yes.
So when we address this, then I really believe that it's really a critical area that we need to touch on.
Sure.
Because most of us who are encountering this challenge, not necessarily that they didn't have the capability of doing this, but it's just because of lack of planning.
True.
So,
and we say time is money.
We say time is money. So before we get deep into this, we want to highlight so that parents outside there, if you don't know how the children or parents or guardians, if you don't know how the children are usually affected with not being able to pay school fee in time, and also to the students outside there, we also have to understand how parents also feeling when outside school, when other students,
how parents feel when their kids are not in class.
Yes, we have we can't really just say parents, we also have guardians, who are taking care of. Yes, let's start with I want you to give your insight on some of the feeling or challenges that parents themselves can have when their children or the people that they're looking after are not in school while others are in school.
Sure.
So please just briefly describe, assuming that you are a parent.
Sure. First because this is in the interest of any parent.
Yes.
Because if you are a true parent or a true guardian, we will always have an interest or the desire to make sure that your kid or whoever you are looking after is excelling, not only academically but even in life as a whole. There's that pride that comes with seeing somebody whom you look after is excelling.
Yes.
So one thing, when the parent is not able to consistently maintain the student, the child in class or in the classroom, the first thing, it destroys their ego, because there's that desire that a parent comes with, that the kid is performing.
The ability to provide.
Yes. So when that is altered in a point that they can't ensure that their children are in class, first they are demoralized.
They're demoralized. The parents are demoralized.
Yeah, the parents get demoralized.
Yes.
And I'm talking about, these are parents who are willing to make sure the kids are there, but they are not in a position to. So that first, that they're demoralized, they feel like they failed as a parent, and that affects their work environment if they're working per se. That affects how they relate with the other people.
The stress level.
Yes, it increases. That can also affect them health-wise, because it can affect how the blood pressure and all that can rise.
Yes,
you
yes,
get.
yes.
So it can accumulate to a lot of stuff.
Okay.
They get that strain.
Yes.
They even how other parents can look at them with that disguise that you are not able to perform as you are expected. You see, so it's not something that is easy as well on the sides of the parent. They may be willing, yes, but the capability is not there. So it really affects them.
Okay. So thank you for that. We just wanted to summarize on the feelings that the parents who are willing but not able
Yes.
to take care of the school fee. Yes, and you've shared good insights.
Yeah.
I won't say anything on that. I want to share
How
the experience
children now.
on the students. Let's call them students or pupils.
Yes,
I
yes.
want to share the experience for students and pupils. Now, when they are sent home for school fee, you find that during this period they can miss the syllabus.
Not even a can. They will, because they are sent already.
Yes,
so they will
yeah,
miss.
okay, let me say they will
Yes.
miss portion of the syllabus. You understand?
Yes, yes.
So this will be a challenge. When they come back, they will find that some part of the syllabus had already been covered. And no teacher will go back and rewind for them.
True.
So teachers will expect at the end of the term for the teachers will expect that you should supposed to
You are
perform,
supposed to perform
like
as the rest.
they will not put into consideration that you are not there when
True.
they will, most of them will not consider
I've seen
that.
that.
So you see, this really affects students and pupils psychologically, being that you are failing, and you might fail because if you did not have the notes, or you are not taught that area. You understand?
Yes.
And you also know that sometimes when information is reported, there's usually room for biasness.
You have a distortion.
There's a distortion of information when it's moving through the channel.
Yes.
So the longer the channel,
the more distorted
the more
it
the
becomes.
probability of distortion. So you understand?
Yeah, sure.
So at the end of the term, this child maybe did not perform well due to this, but you see, most of us, you just look at the end result. We say that you failed, you passed. So this is killing even the self-esteem, and maybe this person is not an average student, or is not as stupid as you think. Okay.
Yes.
It's only because of the challenges. So what I can just say,
And we are forgetting as well.
Yes.
You see, even this process of currently, maybe there are some schools that does not send the students away for school fees. They call the parents, but there are some that send the students away, right? Now, you see this process of sending the students away.
Yes.
One, if the student is coming from a far distance, or is the school is quite far from the school,
Yes.
From their home, you need to look for their transport. That's something that this student needs to have by the time they're being sent away. And the teachers does not care.
Yes, they don't
just
care.
send the students away. They don't care. Again,
okay,
we are risking
if we say they don't care, they will be like so biased a bit.
Okay.
they
Honestly,
care, but they cannot give them.
Which teacher gives the students transport money to go home when they're sending them for school fees?
Okay. We have different types of schools. We have
Yes.
the day school, and you also have the boarding school. So the boarding school is the one where you find that some people can come from far away.
Yes.
But for the day school, you find that maybe you are
Yeah.
coming from the
Must be,
neighborhood. Yes. So let's not get deep into that, because I know
I just want to emphasize on the challenges that can arise to
Yes,
this.
yes,
Because
yes.
you see, one, even to the girls, we are risking the rape cases that can happen in between.
Yes.
Yeah, by the time you are sending the child away.
let's just generalize into accident.
And
Accident
then
can take place
to the accidents
Yes.
can happen
Yes.
to these students.
when
So-
the movement is too much.
yes. So there's a lot of challenges.
There's
that
a
can
lot of
happen when we
challenges, but the
don't
most important
take care
one,
of this.
the one that really pains me is losing portion of the syllabus.
To me, I would say both, because I'm assuming, what if this person gets an accident and dies, or this child gets
So
raped?
that all those confirm that this is a very important
It's a factor
area
that needs
we
to
need
be
to
taken
address.
care of. Yes.
So if there's a way we can alleviate this, then we should be happy contributing to this.
True. Sure.
Now we've said that is a stress level also on the students and stroke pupil
even
side.
students get the stress.
Yes, when you know that there's a backlog of notes that you really need to copy, and at the same time,
You need
it
to
doesn't mean
study.
that teachers will stop waiting for you. That
They'll
you
proceed with the
update.
syllabus.
They will be proceeding. So you have to create extra time and do this.
True,
So it's really hard.
Yeah,
And sometimes some of students usually just say that I'll maybe cover this in the holiday. And if it's also holiday, you have some assignments that you also have to go and do, keep you busy through the holiday.
Sure.
So you find that this really make it hard.
Yes, so it
I
is.
am one of those people who have experienced this.
So you faced it first.
I know it, and it's sometimes you have just nothing to do about it. Now let's get into the second step, where we are going to look how can we address this.
So the focus of the discussion
Yes.
entirely today, so
Yes.
that we can see how we can eradicate
How can
this.
you plan so that you ensure that you don't feel the pinch, you don't feel the magnitude of
So,
paying school fees.
To the parent, this is giving them a relief, so
Yes.
that they don't feel that burden or
Yes.
the pinch or the pain of paying the school fee at
Yes,
once.
yes.
And then to the advantage, what advantage does it bring to the student?
Students will have ample time, and they will reduce the risk of
movement.
the accidents due to the movements.
Yes, yes.
And also they will be able to have the advantage of getting the first-hand information at all times, because when the teacher comes in, you are there, you take notes, then from there you can continue with other research and something like that. So I think that's one. It can also boost the performance. So
The self-esteem is boosted.
Self-esteem is also, because there's all this thing. Sometimes you are not failing because you are stupid. You are failing because of the background where you come from.
True,
You don't have, for example, let me give you an example, and I want to compare this. I want to use you an example. You see where the school you are in.
Yes, yes.
When you experience power outage, there was an automatic generator.
Yes.
The school I was in, when the power outage is experienced, everyone runs.
You go to sleep.
Yeah, they go to sleep. But
You
then
call it a
that
day
one
like
also influenced the environment. The students were really celebrating at that time.
Oh yeah, it's even with us. It happened.
Or they used to celebrate, but they could not celebrate because there was a generator.
They couldn't celebrate.
So, you see, that time, assume that it's the time that you are supposed to be doing your own revision. So in your school, you could be having that time to do the revision. With us, we are sleeping. You understand? Then at the long run, we'll do same exam. You understand?
Yes.
So, if we leave alone that, we have resources, the books. There are some resources you are having, as we are not having. You compare the size of library you are having. You understand?
Even human resources.
Even
teachers,
human resource.
Realize that.
The type of teachers you are having and all that.
And even
also,
the number.
So you find all this can affect someone's performance.
Sure.
So it doesn't mean that this person is not capable. Okay? It's only that we are coming from different backgrounds. And it doesn't mean that if you are there and I was not there, I was not meriting. It's only I was meriting, but the only thing is the challenge that we want to solve here. There was no school fee. So I was to go there, but I could not go there because of
School
that's why I want to take this topic seriously, so that someone else should not go through this.
But I'm also giving it an equivalent weight. It's not something that I take lightly, because it's an experience that I also have.
Somewhere.
All together. I have friends.
No problem. So that's why I really feel that this series of the teachings that we'll be having on the conversations that we're having, of course, people will be having to will be taking lessons from this.
Sure.
It's really going to be impactful. Yes, and when they learn, implement, actually they will grow.
Yeah.
Get into this now.
So we are saying we have a couple of ways on how to make sure this happens, right?
Yes.
So I should start writing.
We'll get
There's
to
something
it.
to write?
Yes, you will have a lot to write.
Really?
Yes, we'll have a lot to write, because we'll even do
I have energy and I have all the time.
We'll have to plan those things and be practical. We don't want just to be
Theoretical
a bare
and
motivational
ideology.
speaking. Bare motivational speaking. You can be a motivational speaker, but you're talking the truth. but there is a bare motivational speaking, like you are saying things which cannot be put into practice. You understand? So we want to be that, we want to
Very, very
motivate people,
pragmatic, like.
but at the same time we want to be so realistic.
Sure.
This is something that you can even reach out to me and tell me that, no, whatever you talked about, please, I want to start it, I'm interested. So this is what we want to do.
Sure.
First of all, before even I get into this, I want we have two broad category. We can categorize expenditure into two.
Into two
We have
categories.
We have one is consumption.
Sure.
Two is investment. Okay, so that's the first thing that our viewers should be able to understand.
So any expenditure you are doing at at all cost you are doing.
Anytime you are spending your money, it's either categorized as consumption
Either
or investment.
So you're either consuming it or you're investing it.
Or you're investing it.
It has to fall between the two.
And investment, for those people who are thinking investment is something that big, investment is what we can just say you are securing your future.
It can be as little as maybe you've opened a shop somewhere and you're just purchasing an asset in that shop of yours. In that case, we can call it an investment, right?
Anything that will appreciate in value. Okay? And anything that will appreciate in value. Any income or part of the income that is secluded or sent to something or used to do something that will appreciate in value or will bring a return, that is an investment.
Sure.
You understand?
So it doesn't mean that you must have treasury bond somewhere, or it's when we call it an investment.
Those are investment vehicles. So you can do the one which is convenient to you, or the one that you understand well. Okay. Or the only difference is information. You can do that. You can. So it's all about information.
And I hope you guys remember when we said in our last episode that it's only risky when you don't have information.
Good.
Once you have the information, it ceases to be risky.
Yes. So the main reason I'm categorizing the two,
the consumption
expenditure
and the investment.
I'm broadly categorizing them is to help them understand. There's some certain mindset that I want to rectify. They're this group that just because I tell you, if you don't plan, we say that there's this say that say failure to plan is planning to fail. To fail. So there are those that usually get ambushed that it is tomorrow you are supposed to pay school fee.
Or some are not even ambushed. They know they need to, but it's not coming. The calculation is not adding up, so they end up.
There's a theory I do use say that once you know something that you want to pursue and you keep thinking about it, you will implement it. So first of all, you should know what you need to do.
Sure. Information.
Okay? You should have that information. You should know what you need to do.
You need to have the
After
knowledge.
knowing what you need to do, you will start pursuing it. You will start pushing and trying all you can to ensure that you start doing that.
Okay.
So we should start from that, from there.
So what is this notion that you are correcting?
I was trying to explain something. There are these parents who sometimes seek loan. They seek loan to take care of school fees. And you understand that school fees, where can you categorize school fee between consumption and investment?
I'll put it under consumption.
It's under consumption because you are not guaranteed
of its return.
Of the returns and when the return will start coming in. So another way we can look at it, when you pay for school fees, it's your responsibility as a parent to take care of your child education.
It's just like when you're feeding the children.
We are saying that
when you're feeding them, you're
we usually say that we have basic needs and secondary needs. So when you give your child food, you are not investing in that child.
Yes.
It's part of the
responsibility
that you as a parent should. Because even you yourself, your parents did that to you.
Sure.
So you should also do it to your children. So that's why we can't classify
education as an investment.
That you as a parent say that I'm investing in this
it's a responsibility
it's a responsibility
to
you
as a parent.
You understand?
Sure.
So any income that you spend on
education,
either basic needs and secondary needs, those are
responsibilities.
And they are consumption.
Yes.
You understand? When you take a loan to finance consumption, it's a serious problem. And I think that when you are such a person who is having that mindset, then you will find you are getting into a trap, and once you get into that trap, you will find it hard to get out of that trap.
Yeah.
And I want to explain it this way. You see, consumption loans, like we are saying it, you are consuming it, and the loan is not your money.
It's somebody's money.
It means that you are spending money
which
that
is
you've not worked for, or you are yet to work for. Okay. Yes. So when you consume this money, and like you've put this money into use, but the use is consumption, you will find difficulty in getting money to repay or finance or service this loan.
Plus the interest. It is the principal that you are given, and again you have to be charged the interest.
Of course, loan. When we talk about loan, we talk about the principal amount plus the interest charges.
Yeah.
I want them to rectify this aspect of loan. I will ask them, please, only take a loan for investments, because with investment, if you take a loan for investment, you find that loan, the cost of servicing that loan is
will be taken
the money channeled toward repaying or servicing the loan is a cost to the investment or is a cost to the business. You understand? So you don't feel the pinch, because so long as the business made profit, it means that it is net of the interest payment that went towards servicing the loan.
Sure.
You understand? But when you take this loan to consume, it means that you will go and work hard to ensure that you repay it.
So that becomes a disadvantage to even our viewers who I've seen situations that somebody takes a loan to finance his or her wedding. I've seen some people taking loans to finance their vacations.
Serious. I think we will just create a episode where we'll be discussing that. All those ones. Those are one of the that is one of the serious problems that you can do. Okay.
Taking a loan for consumption.
And there's also this one that they usually confuse, mortgage. Majority think that mortgage is an investment. When you take loan take the mortgage itself is a loan.
Yeah, mortgage is a loan.
They think that is an investment, and how they defend it, they say that I built a house
and it's mine.
And it's mine. But what is the purpose of the house?
To live in it.
Does living in that house generate income?
No,
it's not generating. So unless you build a house, then you rent it out or you rent it out.
Yeah.
That's when it's an investment. And in that case, you can take a loan to do that. But then we don't forget that there are also some careers or certain industries that when you are in, getting that lump sum that you can go and use to build such houses, or even savings, going the savings way and pull a sum of money and go and build a house or take such projects is very difficult.
Sure.
I won't go to specific type of careers, but let me just leave it at that point.
Sure.
So I'm warning our viewers because sometimes they take these loans as emergency. You understand?
Yeah.
And once you've taken
it, I don't know why I should classify this as well.
Which one?
What about these people who take loan to facilitate hospital bills?
That's a consumption.
That's also a consumption.
How are you investing?
Because you're saying you're helping a life.
No, that's not an investment.
Yeah, definitely it's not.
That's not an investment. That is. You see, that's classified under consumption, health consumption, or health expenditure, or health expenses. You understand? Those are concerns.
I think we should have a discussion or an episode that can illustrate how we can evade all these risks.
Yes,
that can come.
and even in that one, there what we call risk mitigation measures, and of course we'll talk about into detail. But I can just leave it at point where we usually have those insurance products or insurance policies that can take care of such when they happen. Yes, so point is those are consumption.
So don't take a loan. Take away home is don't take a loan for consumption.
You can't tell them that don't take a loan, because sometimes it's a riskier position. Sometimes it's not. You don't take it because you want to take it. And maybe this person is not, maybe you can be planning enough, but this problem is coming from an extended family. Maybe someone from an extended family has that problem, but then it's only you. If not you, then the person stand a chance of kicking the bucket.
Or dropping out of school.
We are talking about the hostel bill.
Oh, yeah, okay. Any situation that you find that if it's not you, or if it's not for the loan thing.
Yes, so that's why we were saying we need to pass the information so that they can know. But then again, having the information about...
But you see, even that one that I was saying about kicking the bucket, okay, with planning, that can happen. Just as we've said, there are the investment vehicles that can help us. I mean, the policies that can help us.
Yes, there is. But anyway, we'll discuss that because there are some also their challenges. There are people who have reached out to me when they're asking about those policies, but then when you share with them the brochure or the details, the quotation or the underwriting of those, then it's too much for them. They can't really pay because there also other factors that are being considered when you want to pay the premiums.
That's why
so
we
we'll
say,
get into it.
That's why we talk about time and planning.
Yeah, time is
and
very
even
important.
now here that we want to discuss about education is part of that.
Yes.
Because if you don't do that early enough, then you find yourself in a situation that you have to take a loan or all that.
Yes.
Yeah. So
now let's get into this. So the earlier you start,
the better
you are. Okay. So I want to advise these parents or these guardians that are viewing us, and I want to classify them into two groups. One, I want to have parents or guardians who are casual laborers, or they are in the informal sector, and their jobs are not their income are not predictable. Then also I want to address parents or guardians who are now in the formal employment, and they have predictable income, because salaries you can predict.
Sure.
Yes, you can predict how much you will earn at the end of the month. At the end of the month. For casual laborers, I can say that at least sometimes you might find that there's a cash flow, and sometimes find that there is no cash flow. Like the job is usually seasonal, so they usually face what we call seasonal unemployment. So they really need to plan for the time that you are getting cash inflow. They're experiencing cash inflows to take care of the time where they are in drought, like they are not. There's no cash inflows. Yes. So let's get into detail. Assume that this person, I want to use averagely in respect of time. You are, because you see they usually paid an average of 2,000 a day.
So you're using a casual laborer who earns at least 2,000 a day.
Yes, these people who are maybe working in the construction industry. Yes, somebody who is earning 2,000 a day, then they usually being paid at the end of the week. They're paid weekly. So those one actually are called wages. They don't get salary, but they get wages. So they are being paid on a weekly basis. So this person, let's assume that in a year, the period that these people experience cash inflows is 6 months. So let's work with 6 months. Say 2,000 2,000 in a day. That would translate to how much in a week.
That's
putting
12,000.
putting into consideration that they don't work on one day, so they work only for 6 days.
That's 6,000.
So that's six.
I mean, 12 now. That's 12,000 a
That's
week.
12,000 a week. So we have this person is going to get 12,000 a week. Now the problem with these people, sometimes when they are on employment or when they have this job, their family tend to have that notion that let us eat when it is there.
Let's enjoy when
Let
it's
us
there.
enjoy when it is there. And that's promoting this theory that is saying that when income increases, expenses
Expenditure
also tend to
increase.
grow, tend to increase. You understand? So this, when these people receive this time that they are receiving, they are experiencing cash inflows, they will tend to
Spend more.
exaggerate their expenditure. And this means they will be left with nothing to take care of the period when they are not on
income.
yes, they are not receiving something. So that is what is bringing the problem. If this person is having a child in school, this time the child will have to wait. If this guy don't result to loan, this person will the child will have to wait until this
Another
person
season.
figures out something. You understand? Now, how should these people go about this? This is the information I want to share with them, because some of them are just they have the capability, but the problem is they don't have the information on how to do it. So what they need to do first, they need to plan for this period that they are receiving something. You understand? So we say in a week this person has 12,000. So this 12,000, this person need to create accounts. Okay? You create accounts. So these accounts will ensure that expenditure remain constant all through, so that there is no time that you overspend, and sometimes you hardly get something to even, you hardly get put food on the table. You understand?
Sure.
So they create this account, and in this account, one of these accounts is investment account. You understand? So in this, I can ask them, if you have a child or you're expecting a child, you should have this in your mind. And I want also to explain to them how can you do it practically. So first of all of our viewers, if you have a child or you're expecting, you should, when you have the child, ensure that the child has birth certificate, because that is the legal identification
Of a child.
of that child, because he or she is still minor and they cannot have national ID. We have the threshold where someone can get ID. ID is only for majors. Now, ensure this child has
A
birth certificate. Then create what we call a minor investment account. Okay, so this minor investment account will help you plan for this child education. Okay, for example, this is a long-term thing, so you can create what we call money market fund or fixed income fund. But then if I'm given the two options, I would recommend that they choose fixed income fund. Why? Because there is
the interest rate is
better than this other one, and also it's a long-term oriented.
Sure.
And the term fixed doesn't mean that it is fixed. It's also, but okay, in that one we'll explain later. I will explain how the investment. I don't want to get deep into that. Let's just explain to them that they can open a minor fixed income fund for the child, and that fund is majorly for education. Okay, so let's assume that you started this as early as possible. That's when your child is
around 6 months, or maybe even
let's assume if this thing finds you when you already you give birth to the child, then this child, once this child you've processed, giving allowance of processing the birth certificate. Once you have your birth certificate, you can create that account. Once you've created that account, so let's assume you started a year after the child's birth.
So you are starting when the child is 1 year old.
Yes. Or you can even start when the child is 6 months, or even 3 months,
depending on how quick you can get the
yes,
identification
the birth certificate
for this kid.
So once you've created this, so let's use ideal, the shortest possible time. Let's work with 3 months.
3 months
or 6
no,
months.
3 months is too short.
6 months.
Make it 6.
Let's work with 6 months. So 6 months. So for this child to attain, for this child to start going to school, that one would be how many years?
That's approximately 3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
3 years.
3 years, yes.
Okay. So approximately 3 years. So I want us to do this thing practically, so that this our viewers can be able to know how to escape these problems. Okay. So 3 years. We've said very well that there's a point I've not explained.
So in this case, you are starting to do the remittance, right?
Yes.
But
before before we get there, there's a point I've not explained, and I would wish to explain to them.
Which is
how you are going to ensure that you spread this fund, so that you take care of even possibility of some months that you will not be receiving something, because we are talking about the casual, the seasonal unemployment. You understand?
Yes.
So you have to take care of that. That's the basis of planning. So let's, for example, we say that in that first week you receive 12,000.
Yes.
So it means at the end of the month you can have
around 48.
You will have around 48,000. So this 48,000, I would encourage that you create funds for the critical expenses. And these critical expenses, one, we have rent, okay, because assuming that you are not from the rural area, you will have to pay rent, and create also another fund for emergency, then create another fund for education. You understand?
Sure.
So when you get this your 48, let's say for example monthly, the educational fund, because this is going for a longer period, just take a small just take only 1,000, because we don't want you to remain with nothing. Okay, just take only one. That's the beauty of starting early, so that even if you just take 1,000, but the longer the time, the higher you can earn.
Yes.
Understand? Or you can accumulate the money. So you just take only 1,000 from 48. What are you remaining with? 47. You understand?
Yes.
Then, being that rent is a short term, there is something that can take place within the next few months. You can create an allocation for the rent. You can say that you have a rent fund that you contribute. Let's say it depends on how much you're paying rent.
Whichever the amount.
So put it 3,000. So give it 3,000. Okay. But for today, I just want to focus on.
Let's just focus on education. Yes.
Then also you have emergency. Emergency is also you can't predict. It can be long term or short term. So you balance this. The one that can go for a longer period before it matures, you can just contribute to it a little, as little as possible. So for this one, we've said it is 1,000, which let's do this projection. So what in a month you take 1,000. So in this month, you are not sure of the other months. So just for education, but because we are very sure that you will have to pay school fee. So you have to either plan for this, because we've said that failure to plan
is planning to fail. So take this 1,000, do a projection. In a year, how much should you remit to the education fund? 12,000.
12,000. So there is what we call time value of money. And I would recommend that instead of remitting 1,000 every month, just take this 12,000 from this lump sum. Just sacrifice in the first month that you receive 48. Take 12,000 from it. Then it means the other months, if you get something, you will forget about remitting to educate.
It's even quite easy, because as we say that this person is earning 12,000 per week, right?
Yes.
And we have 4 weeks in a month.
Yes.
So you're saying the first week, because I'm getting 12,000, I remit 3,000.
Yes.
I take 3,000 and put it into this account. I'll remain with 9,000, right? In the first week. Second week again, take my 3.
Yes, I understand. but there is something, there's a certain...
The reason as to why I'm trying to reason in that manner is, assume I get 12,000 in my first week and then I remit the entire 12,000. Definitely we know we won't have anything to take care
How
of
much are we
us.
remaining with?
No, it's 12,000 because you've said I'm earning per week.
No, I'm saying at the end of the month, this remittance, you should do it at the end of the month. That's what I was saying.
The challenge is,
yes,
this person is earning weekly, and if he's earning weekly, remember the expenditure is also happening within the month.
Within the month.
So we want to guarantee that by the time the month is ending, this person will have the 48 at hand. Because if he's earning on a weekly basis, then what he earns will be used to facilitate the expenditure in the following week.
No problem.
That's my point of argument.
No problem. No problem. Let's just go with that. Let's go with that.
So you're saying...
What I'm saying, at the end of the month, my target is
12,000.
This person must have contributed 12,000 to the educational fund. Then the other of the months, no worries now.
Yeah, that's I'm trying to be practical enough, as you are saying.
Yes.
That in the first month, first week, I'm earning 12,000, right?
Yes.
So instead of remitting the entire 12,000, I remit 3,000 in the first week.
Yes.
Second week, I'm so sure I'll get 12,000, right?
Yes.
I also remit 3. By the end of the month, we'll realize that I've remitted the 12 at once.
No problem. So we have 12,000 at the end of that first month.
Yes.
For this purpose, and you must understand. You understand this thing. You need to sacrifice something good.
Yes.
You need to sacrifice, and you've gone through this,
Sure.
So sometimes it's called for sacrifice. You go out of your comfort zone. So just ensure that within that month, you have the 12,000. But the beauty of this, the other month, we forget about the education. You wait until the other year is when again you sacrifice 1 month and you pull out the 12,000 you remit to that fund. You understand?
Sure.
Now, the reason why I want you to put this at the beginning, or at the end of that 1 month, is that you are going to enjoy compounding of interest. You understand?
Yes.
Because when you say that you put 1,000 every month, when you're spreading it, you are standing two risks. One, some months you might be not in a position to get something to remit. Number two, you are not going to enjoy the interest
per capital.
Yes, you are not going to enjoy the interest, because you see every month you're adding 1, so it means the initial capital is less.
So the interest that the initial capital will
give you
is less.
So better you just put the 12 so that the 12 can work for you the whole year. The other year you again inject 12. It's also work for you the whole year. So that's the beauty of that. And also another risk that I can also mention, the risk of exaggerating your expenses. You need to now take your wife out
for a date and maybe
increasing the eating outside and all that. You see, fancy shoes and those luxurious or way of that fancy lifestyle. Yes, you can have the temptation to do that. And also, not to mention, there are also people who are cheating. That's the time they
leave alone even that.
They take that money to do what? And also the emergencies that can also come from both sides, or both sides.
Or your
and when the emergency is there and you have money, you know how it can be difficult to tie money. Yes. So that's why you create this, and you want to understand that these things have role. You've sent the money there. You will have not to think about it. You understand?
Yes.
So that's the beauty of putting it as early as possible.
Okay.
Now let's assume that you've put 12,000 at the end of the month, and I want to use I just want to use the simplest interest rate. I want to use let's say even just 10%. Okay. I just want to use 10%.
10%.
Yes.
Per annum. Okay.
Just want to use 10%. And we are saying that you put...
The initial principal is 12,000.
You put 12,000.
And this is a compounding, right?
Yes, it is compounding. Fixed income fund is compounded monthly. It's compounded monthly. So we want to see
by the end of my first year.
At the end of the first year, I'm giving you net. I've taken care of even the taxes, but I can just give you the figure so that at least you can see the sense. Now, yeah. Yes, I
So
can see.
you've taken care of.
I've taken. Let me just work with the net because the other ones will now. The other ones are going to the stakeholder.
There's the government, right?
The government. Yes.
Okay. So what is the
other
what
ones
is the
are
net?
going to the stakeholders. So let me just.
Let me see how sensical it is.
So. If you put this money, this 12,000 at the beginning of the month.
Assuming this is the beginning of the year.
Yes, that is the beginning of the year. So you will have 13,000. You will have 13,000.
So my 12,000
has given you an additional of 1,000 net interest. You understand?
Okay.
So if you would have not started at the beginning, you couldn't have earned or accrued.
So
the
what
1,000.
if okay, yeah, okay, fine. I see the sense.
You understand?
If I was to remit 1,000 per month,
Yes.
then the 6 months I couldn't manage first of all.
Yes.
And then that I would end up with 6,000
Yes.
as the capital, right?
Yes.
And then of course, because I was remitting it on a monthly basis, the interest rate could have also been low.
Low.
Okay.
It can't even
I mean the
be
interest
100.
generated.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have 13. So the first month you have 13.
The first month.
I mean the end of the year.
Okay.
When the first year you have 13,000 in your child education fund.
Okay.
Net. I've taken care of withholding tax.
Yes, yes.
You understand? Then
So we proceed with
this child hasn't started
Education yet.
Education, So what we can do, what I can do, I want to go to the third year.
So we are assuming that this child is going to start schooling in the next 3 years, right?
Or on average, we can take that 13 times 3.
Then I multiply that by 3.
Yes.
That comes something like 39.
Something like?
39.
Okay, but that one will be a bit lower because you see the compounding itself. Oh, let's just do it.
Yeah, you can.
Let's just do it.
I
So
believe you
the
have a
first,
simulator.
the end of the end of the first year, we've said that you have 13.
Yes, yes.
So you have 13.
A net of
So
13.
this 13 will be the opening
capital for the next year.
The opening for the next year. Okay.
Yes.
Then you inject.
Then I'll inject another 12. 12. So by that year, I'll have 12 plus my 13. That's give me 25.
25.
Yes.
So we have 25. Okay. So at the end of the second year, you will have a net of 27.
A net of 27.
Yes.
Okay.
You will have a net of 27. Yes, you will have a net of 27.
So, and then in the third year, I also take my 27, and then I add to my 12, right? So I have 39. So by the end of my third year, what do I have?
So at the end of your third year, okay. So you say that the beginning of third year you have?
No, at the beginning of my third year, I have 27.
You have 27.
Yes.
Plus the injection?
I had my injection of 2. I'll have 39.
12,000.
Yes.
You have 39. So you have 39,000.
Yes.
So that one would give us. So the end of third year, you already have 42,447.
42,000.
Yes.
So this
400. So this 42,000, your child hasn't started even school.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So the beauty
so
here.
Let's go with the curriculum. Assume that we are using the CBC, whereby we have 2.
We have 2, 6, 6, 3.
Yes. 2, 6, 6, 3. So imagine we have not even started the curriculum itself. Then, but already we have contributed 42.
Yes, yes.
42,000. The other year.
The other 2 years.
The other 2 years.
So the first year again, the first year that my child is starting schooling.
Yes.
I also top up my 12,000, right?
Yes.
So in my 42 would be the beginning, the capital that the beginning capital of my, or the opening capital of my fourth year.
Yes.
So I take 42 plus my 2.
Yes.
My 12.
Yes.
That brings me gives me 54.
50?
54.
So the beginning of the 4th year,
So in the beginning of the 4th year,
You
I'll
have-
have a starting capital of 54.
54.
Yes, yes.
Let's put 54. Let's see. Yes, that will give you
That gives me what will I have at the end?
58.
58 at the end of my
5877
5877.
773.
Uh-huh.
Now-
Then, so in this case, we are assuming that in that year I don't use this capital to pay my.
No,
pay
you
the
don't
school
use
fees,
it.
right?
Okay, if you, I recommend that this fund should start picking. You'll tap into this fund when the child starts either
High-
junior,
Junior.
high school, forward
or
to higher education. Or if you can manage even the junior, then the child should start tapping on that fund when the child start
Higher.
senior
High school.
senior high school.
Okay.
But assuming that maybe the fee difference might not be that large, let's just say that you start tapping into it when this child enters high school. So be it junior or high.
Okay.
Yes. So it means that we have 8 years. We have 8 years
proceed
to
with
save
this. Yes.
in this fund or to invest in this fund. So already, so I want us
My
to
4th
do
year I have 58.
your 4th year. You have
58.
You see, this 4th year doesn't mean this is when we've tapped on one.
Yeah.
Once the child has started
So it's when I'm
learning.
in the first year.
You are
when
in the
this
first
child
year.
is starting.
Yes, so record that so that
give
will be accurate.
Yes, I am. I've taken note of that.
So
So in the second year, when this child is going to P2,
Yes.
I remit again 12,000, right?
you remember, yes,
So that gives me 70.
70.
So yes.
So that is
year
70.
I'll remit 70. 70 will be my starting capital of that,
That
year.
year.
Yes.
So we have 70.
So that means by the end of my when my child will be graduating from primary.
So by the time the child is graduating from preschool, not primary, preschool.
Yes.
Already you in that fund you have 76,000.
76.
Yes.
Wow, that's good.
You have 76,000. So we are starting
On
the grade 1, that is
Yes.
primary school. So and primary school we are starting, that is grade 1. So that is 1 year.
Yes.
So let's proceed with the
So I
calculation.
add my 12 again, right?
Yes, that is
So
82.
That will give me 82.
That is 82. So 82. So at the end of that year,
I'm expecting
you should,
90,
at the end of that year, you should expect 89,000.
89. Okay.
So 89,000.
Then
Let's go to the
when
another.
grade 2, I also top up my 12,000.
Yes.
That gives me 101.
101.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's I'll start the reading with 101.
So that one will give us at the end of the year we have 109. Yes.
109.
Yes.
So in the third year also add that, I'll have 121. 121.
121. So 121. Let me
When
see.
the child is graduating from
121.
grade 3.
You will have at the end of that year you will have 131.
131.
Yes.
So when the child is starting his or her grade 3, we'll have a starting capital of 143.
143. So I add 143.
Okay.
So at the beginning, let me get that 143. Okay, 143 will give us what at the end? So we have 143. So that one will give us
150, right?
155.
155.
Yes.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So that is 155.
155. And then by the time the child is starting his or her 4th grade, I'm expecting a starting capital of 167.
167.
Yes.
So 167. Let's see what will you have at the end of the year.
So at the end of the year,
167.
what do
So
I have?
167 we have 181.
I have 181.
181,000.
At my 5th year,
Yes.
I'm expecting a starting capital of 193.
193. Okay. 193. 193.
I'm expecting something like 200.
So that is 210.
210. Okay.
Yes, 210,000.
210. Then again, by the time I'm starting the child is starting his or her 6th grade, that is 222.
That is
222.
220. 220 or 222.
Yes, 222,000. Yes.
to 22,000. So at the end, we'll have 241.
So I'll have 241.
So we'll have 241. So write this figure total. We have 241, 622. Yes, let's just leave it there.
241, 622.
Yes. So this is now the end of that year. So it means this child now is transitioning to what?
To junior high
school. Now in junior high school, where you are going to face
the fifth challenge.
So that person who was not having this will start afresh. You at least you have some fun. 241. Now I also want to explain how do you move forward from there. Now you take this 241. We want to see on this 241 how much will it give you on every month. So let me go to another module so that we see how much will you have. So that is okay. So give me the figure.
242.
241.
That's 241, 622.
622. Okay. 622. Let me see. Yes. So this means every month you are going to have a net of after taking care of the taxes, you're going to have a net of 1,700.
1,700 every month, right?
1,700 every month. So then, because you only pay fee at the end of
the term.
So even let's assume that you are now not continuing with the remitting the funds, and you are just now using this fund to help you take care of the school fee. So at when you are supposed to pay the term fee, let's say maybe the child won't be allowed to do exam before clearing the fee.
Yes.
So let's say you agreed with the teacher that you will be paying in the third month. You understand? You will pay the whole sum in the third month. So at the third month, you will be having, this is interest only, 5,170.
5,000. So I'll have a total of 246 in that case, as of that time.
Yes. But I'm trying to see on how you can make this fund sustainable.
Yes.
So you have 5,000. So it means that you've not tapped on capital, but from the investment itself, you have 5,000 that can help you pay the school fee. Now give me the school fee that maybe is expected from you.
An average of 15,000.
An average of 15,000.
Yes.
So it means already you've catered for 5,000, so you are remaining with 10,000. So this 10,000 is what you will
pick from my investment.
Pick from the capital. Okay?
Yes.
So this 1,000 is what you will pick from the capital. But then if you want to be smart enough, just ensure you continue with the remitting that 1,000.
So again, I'll top up my 12 here in the 241.
Yes. You will top up the 12. You will see that the fund is sustainable. This person will go through this. You will not have the burden, but you will go through all this thing without till even tertiary.
Without feeling the
without
pressure.
depleting. And I'm very sure that by the time this child will finish the college, she can use the balance to start life. You understand?
Yes.
So, but you see, most of us think that these things are just for people who are well off. It's not for well off. Even you've seen it's just 1,000. We're just using 1,000, and you see what we have arrived at. You see, so that is the beauty of planning.
Yeah, and planning and compounding interest.
Of interest.
Yes.
Now that one we were dealing with the casual people. Now we use the same scenario for the people who are in the formal job. But we are not going to that calculation again.
That will take time.
Yes, we are not going to that. We have shown. So what will differ here is amount that you are
remitting.
Yeah, remitting. That's what will change the figure. Yes, but maybe if they need, they will tell us.
Yes.
If somebody had the need of that calculation, maybe they will put on the comment section so that
you
next time we can just create a session for
that,
helping in calculating and doing the projection. What am I leaving out? We have done the projection for the school fee for the people in the people who are probably they're in the casual, they are casual laborers. Yes, all they are experiencing seasonal unemployment. Yeah. Then is there anything we are forgetting about?
No, I think that has covered that. If we can go to the next thing.
Yes, I've remembered. This is very important so that they can use this to do comparison. So this one is actually, the beauty of this is that even if something happened that you stop to remit the funds, there is you don't stand a chance of breaching the contract. Okay. So this account will always be there. So the only time you increase it is when you will catalyze the growth of the balance. You understand?
Yes.
But then there is another option, and this is the option that, okay, for the people in the formal employment, you can choose this, or you can choose to go the insurance way.
So the insurance way is not that much advantageous to the informal.
Yes, because they will stand a risk of breaching the contract. They stand that risk of breaching the contract, and when you breach the contract, it means that you will suffer the consequence. You will only be compensated what we call surrender value, which will be lower than the amount that you remitted so far. Yes. Then another thing, that the challenge of insurance is that interest rate might be now lower, about 8%, 7%, because you understand that insurance is not meant to benefit you.
Yeah, it's just there to cater for your risks.
There's this principle of this principle that ensure that the insurance does not profit you but reinstate you. Okay.
Yeah.
Ensure that you can't really take insurance as an investment. Insurance is a risk management tool. You understand?
Sure.
So when you go the insurance way, I've said that the challenges are you stand a risk
when you breach the contract.
Breaching the contract, you will have to suffer consequences whereby you will only be compensated with surrender value, which is lower than your effort that you've been putting in.
And then it is not an investment on its
Number
own.
2, interest rate is down. Then those are key challenges. And then when we come to positive sides, we can say that, you see, when under insurance, when you are starting it, we have what we call sum assured. Okay. So by the time you are starting the insurance, already you know how much are you targeting here. So that's what will help them in underwriting. Will help them with underwriting and determine the premiums to be paid. So it means that at the end it's like a guarantee that, you know, at the end of this, the expiry of this insurance, this is the sum assured. Another beauty of this is that the insurance company can act as a trustee to this child in the event that you pass away. You understand?
Sure.
So they will ensure that this child continues with the education. They do the payment and all that, because sometimes, you understand, some of the relatives, when you leave funds in their hands, they might not do it. They might not do it as you expect it to be done. So that's where the insurance firm can help. But if you just have to weigh all these
options and
option, either you go the insurance way or you go the investment way. So whichever. But what is really important is having the information
and see how you can safeguard the interest of both parties, that is you and the child.
Yes. So I think for now that's a lot for them to comprehend.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And maybe what I can leave them with, all these options, if you need details on how you can start and maybe the firms that you can trust, they can just reach out to me. My digits are always on the social media platforms. Yes, majorly all those social media platform, I have a banner there. My contact is there, so you can just reach out to me and I'll be able to guide you and tell you this where you can invest, because trust is also very important.
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
sure,
you need
sure.
not to start with company that you will have to suffer some consequences later after sacrificing for that long. So otherwise, thank you for viewing this, and I believe it has been an insightful session, and we are looking forward to the next, again, insightful session.
Okay, okay. Thanks
Thank you.
for that. You've seen the options that we have, the insurance way, you can choose that, or the investment way. Option is yours. Take note of that.
Learn, implement, and grow.